What's up, guys? Ronin here. I remember one of the first things I noticed when I got to Japan, which was very surprising to me, and it took me probably 2 months to figure this out, is that the girls would let you touch their box way before they would let you touch their boobs. Now, I mean, generally they're going to do it, but in the sequence, right? They would let you, finger them before they'd put titties out, right? And I was like, what in the heck's going on here? And then it happened again and again. I was like shocked because in the West, you're always going to go for the boobs first, right? And I think Western girls are more, what do you call it? What's that word? They're Machiavelli. I don't know. They know what you want the most, and they cover that up, right? But when you travel, there's opportunities, right? And one of the opportunities is for girls that are not that confident in their boobs, and in general, Asian girls are not that confident as a culture in their boobs, right? And you can see why. You can see why this tradition, because these are old traditions, right? We're talking thousands of years old. Nowadays, things are changing. People are drinking milk. There's a lot more eating yogurt, healthier, more balanced diets with things. There was no milk products in Japan back in the day, So, in fact, it's very interesting. But when I got to Japan, it was pretty funny. There was a company called Triumph that makes bras, and they would measure the girls every year, and in high school, and they would put the statistics. It was part of the high school curriculum. You had a doctor do a health check. Part of that was measuring the boobs, and they would publish them in the newspaper. And they would always say, what the size was this year, and which It's true. When I got to Japan, this is like nightly news, right? That once a year thing when they did the boob measuring, and they would say, well, this year they got up to 75 centimeters, and the prefecture with the largest ones is Aomori. I remember that. It was like Aomori province. Oh, okay. So everybody excited about going to Aomori. That really was Japan when I got there. Pretty funny. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like measuring girls. It was hilarious. It was so Japanese. Some things in Japan, were just so hilarious. You had to be very careful not to laugh or not to make a big deal out of it, because you don't want people to be self-conscious. Like if you go to a tribe that's never been contacted, you obviously don't want to, because it's going to, just you being there is going to affect it. But the less you can disturb the local culture, let them be themselves. Don't make them self-conscious is one of my main strategies when I travel. If somebody does something, you don't want to react like, oh, in my country we don't do that, or just let people do their thing, whatever it is. Just be a good visitor, be an observer, where you think but you don't have to say, right? You're like, oh, like some things are obvious, like for example, when I went to Indonesia, right? I went to Indonesia and in 1990, and at that time they were very conservative. The girls, Indonesian girls, were incredibly conservative. There's a large Muslim population, and just in general, the girls were extremely conservative. And even in the clubs, when you went to a club, nobody was showing skin, right? Now it's totally different, but back then, but the thing was funny was there was a traditional hot spring in Bali up in the volcano, and at sunset everybody would go there to bathe, and the girls would go topless. And it said in the travel book, I had a Lonely Planet travel guide, and it said, don't pretend like it's not a big deal, just go pretend like you can't see this and be like the locals. And I did. I went up there, and it was amazing. It was amazing. In this very conservative country, there was these beautiful girls, and they were topless. And it was like, I almost thought I was in paradise sometimes when I traveled. I was sitting there, the only Western guy, And we were naked. We were all naked. And it was in a natural hot spring next to the lake. If any of you guys were back in Bali at that period, and the sunset was, we were inside of a volcano. There's a lake inside of a volcano, looking up the volcano walls around you. And it was just so beautiful, the sunset, along with the volcano and the lake and the traditional, vibe and everything. It was just like trees, and there was no concrete, or it was obviously well used. This was the bathing area for the locals, but it was clean. It was nice. There was no one charge or anything. It was free. You just went down there and took off your clothes and got in. And everybody pretended like they didn't see you. It was part of the group blindness to things. It's how societies functioned before, was you don't notice things. So I'm telling you something that is a very valuable skill, actually. You want to not be seen to notice. But at the same time, you're like a CCTV camera, taking everything in so you can understand the world and analyze it and talk about it later and figure it out, what's really going on. Talk to an expat who's been there for a while. So anyway, when I got to Japan, I remember I would try to touch the girl's boobs. They would push my hand off and push my hand off. I'm like, I knew the girl was into it. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then I would grab her ass and she wouldn't do anything. And I'm like, no way. This is weird. And then I would edge up between the legs, up, really close to the box, and nothing. Just kissing more passionately. And then I would start to touch it. And I was just like, and then just, softly first, side, very gentle, This basically what you do when you're touching a woman for the first time. You're showing her that it's enjoyable and safe for your hands to touch her. And she will judge that immediately. So two guys can look the same, and the girl will stop one guy and another guy they won't. It's because of the ability to give her subconscious brain the message that with this guy it's okay. It is comfortable. It's not scary. It's not surprising. It doesn't make me nervous. It's like, whoa, this is comfortable. This is okay somehow. And that's how girls make decisions about what you can touch, is basically they go immediately to how they feel. And so once you learn that and you really master that, you become much more aware of your hands and your fingernails. You want your fingers clean. You want short fingernails. You want your hands to look good. Maybe you can do those muscle things with your hands. And the girls will look at your hands. They'll decide if that hand should touch them. And then once the hand does touch them, they decide if that touch is acceptable. And they'll move a hand away, even with the same girl who's planning on going ahead. She'll be a little bit more nervous with certain movements, right? So you need to be very aware of how this is working, right? Let's see. I just realized that maybe the input here is too low. No, it looks okay. Okay. So what happened was I realized, wait, the girl's letting me finger her, and we're moving forward. And even then, when I go to touch her boob, she's not. I just sensed some kind of a hesitation there, and I was like, okay. And I remember a couple girls, we actually did it with the shirts on, and then until the very end did I get underneath there. And I'm very sensitive to how they feel, how they react. So I was like, hey, if you don't want to take it off, it's fine. It's fine. I find a workaround. You know what I mean? So eventually I learned how to do the whole thing comfortably. But when you travel, you need to be aware that, here's the thing, is that, Japanese girls, I can't talk too loud here. They have really nice boxes, like very little smell, very well kept, very tidy. You know what I mean? And above average, okay? Because of the sanitation and the care they put into how they smell and how they just care more, and they check with the doctor more. So they're going to be in better shape. On top of that, they tend to keep them nice these days as far as trimming and stuff. And then also on top of that, I mean, I can't argue. I've never found a good argument against this. I think they're tighter. Okay. On top of that, I think that they're wetter. Okay. It's just my opinion. It's my experience. I've been with a lot of women. I don't know if there's any way to measure that, but I think all those things are true. On top of that, when they're with a guy who looks totally different than their local guys, they're a little bit more excited, or a lot more excited. Not all the time, not all people, but as a general rule, women are interested and excited by new things. And because I'm a new thing, I don't look Japanese. That always is to my advantage in that moment. So basically, I realized, and I think every guy that sleeps with a lot of women realizes, that at the end of the day, the box is everything. I mean, there's other things. There's boobs, there's hair, there's face, there's eyes, there's skin, there's beautiful hands and beautiful feet, and all these things, the nape of the neck and the curvature of the back. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful things that I appreciate on women. But if I say the one thing that is big difference between a guy and a girl is the vagina. That's the big difference. And because, and for me, and the more women you're with, you'll realize that's really why you're doing it. That's really why why guys buy cars for girls, why guys marry girls. It's at the end of the day, learn the wisdom of guys that have more experience than you, and learn quickly that it's all about the box. I'm serious. You will realize this at some point anyway, but the sooner you realize that, the better. And the quality of the box, the beauty, the smell, the tightness, the juiciness, that is what it's about. That is really, when it comes to romantic relationships, the one thing your friends don't have is a box. And the one thing your car doesn't have, right? And I'm not reducing women to that at all. I'm saying that the number one reason why you date, you have reasons why you date. There's nothing embarrassing about that. They have reasons too, right? We all have reasons for everything we do. Why do we do things? Get it clear. The other things, boobs, they tend to shag and things like that. But a good box, a really nice quality, very, very good DNA, that's going to be around for a while. I'm serious. I've been with some girls at 40 with beautiful boxes. It's like height. It doesn't change that much. A really good DNA. Now, if you have one that's not that great, then it can get all fucked up many ways. But a really good DNA, that's why I think it's important to know why you do things, so that you can choose. And that's one nice thing about the box. Most guys don't realize this until it's too late, right? Once they're married and have kids. And the other thing they don't realize is that there's very few things in life that you're not in great competition with men for. Money, travel, women, it's all highly competitive. But there's one thing that you can't see from the outside. So there can't be competition for it, because nobody knows. One girl, another girl, they look the same. But the box is different, right? So if you experience a lot of women, you'll realize some women, they just have beautiful, beautiful vaginas. And they're just special. Those are the ones you fall in love with. And that's okay. That's okay. If you're going to fall in love with something, fall in love with something that's real to you as a man. A lot of guys are going to think he's out of his mind. But don't forget this episode. Do not forget this episode. Because eventually you will understand this. And choose wisely. And get enough experience that you can choose. And I mean, even to date. At this point, if I sleep with a girl once, right? And I find out the box is, smelly and no good and just bad and doesn't look good, doesn't smell good, it's not tight, doesn't get wet. I just am very kind of like calmly back out of the room, I'll come up with any reason and she'll never know. But the real reason is that there's no point because I got a right hand, right? I don't care. If I'm going to date, it's got to be good. And if you learn this one thing, it'll help you a lot because a lot of guys are like, how did you not get married? Well, one of the ways is that you raise your standards and that you have good standards that are smart. And if you know what's important, it'll just rule out a lot of people. I'm not saying that helps you because eventually you'll meet somebody who's got it all, but short term, it definitely does help you because you're like, oh, not this one. It's kind of like you want to buy a stock and lose all your money, some kind of options or something, and then your account won't let you do it because you don't have the right, what do you call it? The approval by the account. So you go to buy all these crazy options and then they won't let you. You're all pissed off. And the next day they all go to zero and you're like, oh, maybe that was good. Maybe that was good. They didn't let me. I still have my human nature. I might buy something stupid later, but at least I didn't buy that one and lose all my money. It's like, that's the level of protection you get as a guy against getting married. Just all these little tricks and things that you can do to insulate yourself from making a bad decision. So having high standards on the box and understanding what is beauty. Beauty is not boob jobs. It's not makeup. Beauty is youth. Youth. There's no beautiful 70-year-olds. Just doesn't exist. Beauty is a period of time, and it's in a woman's youth, and that's beauty. It's like a rose bush. The rose bush is beautiful. When the bulbs fall off and the thing's all brown and everything, it's still a rose bush, and you could be nice and say it's beautiful, but really, is it? It's not beautiful anymore. And that's okay. One of the things in life is that you realize that even if things are not to everybody's advantage, you want to be a man who at least knows the truth. At least you know the truth. How you handle the truth, what you do with the truth, that's a different thing, but at least you know. At least you know. All right, guys. I hope that's been helpful. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Japan Summit, to be honest. Oh, by the way, I should give a little Japan Summit shout out. We're gonna do a summit probably in Thailand pretty soon, or might do a short one in the U.S. possibly before I go. I'm thinking about it. It's potentially possible, but Japan 100% first week of August, and we're gonna do this one's gonna be the Waterman Summit. So we're gonna be. This is what I'm thinking. If nobody wants the Waterman Summit, then we'll do another Tokyo one. But what I want to do is a Waterman Summit at the beach and take you from an Iowa farm boy or whatever you are. You're a guy who's never been comfortable in the water, or you lost touch with one of the most beautiful things in the world, which is the ocean, 3/4 of the world. And basically you trust. The reason why I want to do this is I'm telling you, this is an important part of a man's life. Believe me, when you come back from this, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away. Even if you thought you hate water or you thought you knew water, the Waterman Summit, we'll do, as usual, Q&A and all kinds of topics. But I want to take you from a guy who isn't really, well, whatever level you're at, basically, and take you deeper into understanding and enjoying the ocean. And I'm telling you something, if you stay single, right, and you succeed in life, which basically listen to this channel, right, just keep doing what I'm saying. You're going to look good, you're going to dress good, you're going to be in good shape, you're going to feel good, and you're going to want to do things. And most things that society has for you are boring. They suck. Movies, most things like just people get up on Sunday and do, they're not fun. I'm going to show you a lifetime of entertainment for free. And it's in the water. How to enjoy the water in a million different ways. How to get over your fear of water. How to improve whatever it is that you're doing. How to try all kinds of new sports in the water. How to be a waterman. How to be a waterman. And I want to do this. From the bottom of my heart, I want to do this. Every year when I hear people drown this year, it's so sad to me because they didn't have to happen. It did not have to happen. Learn to be a waterman, and not only will you not going to be out there drowning, you're going to be helping people to not drown. One of my friends, Ben, saved 4 people's life in high school on a river rafting trip. You can be that. My brother saved someone's life when surfing. I was out with him, but I didn't see it. Being a waterman is an amazing thing. And it's so close. It's so close to peace for a man, you won't believe it. It's so, in my opinion, once you understand what I'm saying, and I will show you so that your body will understand, your mind and your body and your subconscious. It's better than any sport. It's better than being a waterman is better than playing golf. It's better than skiing. It's better than skydiving. It's the most natural thing. When we're born, we're floating in liquid in our mother. And we come out and we're on dry land. That's a huge mistake. We're made to be in liquid. We're made to be in there. Yeah. Go back to your roots. I'm going to show you how to really enjoy the world in the water and be safe. And it gives you, what I was going to say earlier was, when you're single and you're a red pill guy, right? You understand, you're a Ronin guy. And the things are boring that society does. Because they're not even real. They're just shit that the companies sell you because they know that you have Sunday free. So they make some stupid fucking museum or whatever. And then you go there. You need to learn something that is an enjoyment that engulfs all your senses. From the top of your head to your toes. Your nose, your smell, the sense of feeling, a full, enjoyable, when you're not working, what can you do? Where can you go? How to not be like these other old guys that are bored. They don't know what to do when they're not working. You guys don't even realize if you're working, you don't realize how serious this is. Is having a rich fabric of enjoyable life. And I'm telling you, 3/4 of the water is the ocean, of the earth. 3/4. Realistically, should you learn to really enjoy that? Really learn to enjoy that? Or are you running from it? I'll teach you. I've taught people how to swim who never swim. I have friends that were so scared they got in the water. And these are like cool guys that they started flailing about and then almost had trauma. And then they came out and I said, hey, I can help you swim. And they would be like, what are you talking about? I swim. I just swam. Because they were so scared of the water that it was like a traumatic injury. They felt like this is just the way they are. Like they're totally cool guys, except for the water. Even in fact, especially those people, I've turned them around and made them watermen, where they love the water more than anybody. And it's impossible. I got the magic touch when it comes to water. Just relax, put yourself in my hands. Let me show you how it's done. And believe me, it will awaken something in you. I'm not teaching you anything. it's going to awaken something in you. And you will realize you are a waterman. And how much more enjoyable things there are to do. Because riding waves is another thing that's very enjoyable. Even fish do it, dolphins do it, dogs do it, birds do it. It's the most natural form of movement. It's the most beautiful thing. It is so beautiful. There's no motor, and it's like you're using your own body as a boat, as a rudder, and you're learning efficiency. Because the one problem you have moving in the water is that there's never enough power. So you're always learning how to use that power that is there to glide. And when you use your whole body and mind in the pursuit of something and you achieve it, there's a sense of enjoyment that's really cool. There's a thrill to riding a wave. But there's another area, there's another level where you're on a wave that's not quite big enough to be ridden, but you've gotten so good that you're riding this, just barely, it's pushing you along, right? And it's your skill. You've become this creature comfortable in all parts of the world. And you will be able to find fun in a way that it'll open up things on a Sunday. It'll open up things on a weekend. It'll open up, obviously, senses and things like that, right? But you'll gain in small ways and you'll gain in big ways with becoming a waterman. Finally, at the Japan Summit, I want to style you out in cool clothes so you look like a waterman. Help you to pick out something where you look cool at the beach. Because a lot of guys, you can be in good shape, but you're just kind of out of it on the beach, you know? Like, you'll be cool. You'll be fucking cool. You'll get it. You'll be the man. You'll be like on the beach with the coolest trunks. You know, just going, fuck yeah. Yeah. And you realize it's more about the water. Around the water is another part of the water, right? Around the water, in the vicinity of the water. And I guess I should end on one thing, is when I go out body surfing, right? I'll jump in the water and I'll catch a bunch of waves. The whole beach will be watching me because I can catch waves that no one can catch. And then I'll be riding them in, and then like you'll see a guy like, you know, like a tall guy, muscular, obviously an athlete, and like he goes out there and he's like flailing around like a woman, and then he just can't. He tries to catch a wave and it pushes him over, and you can just tell the sense he's like a man who's very talented and very, you know, skilled in all he does, but he's like total fish out of water on the beach. I've seen a lot of guys like this. You know, like you'll see let's say like a black guy on the beach, and he's obviously on the football team or whatever, but he gets down to the beach and he just doesn't have it. He's just like totally clueless, and he knows it, right? And then like, honestly, like those guys' girlfriends are all looking at me come up to me because it's obviously that I'm the fucking master of the domain, right? I'm the master of the water, but at the same time, I don't use it to any advantage. I teach people. I always want to. I'm not into that. Like I said, I never slept with my friend's girlfriend or wife. I'm just not into it. I'm into helping guys, and I'll take a guy like that and say, "Hey, come out here. Let me show you." And then I'll get him, and he'll do it. He'll catch a wave, and then he'll be like, "Wow, like that was great." He'll be all excited like a kid, you know. And then you see him go back to his girlfriend. He's like, "I got that." He's like a little kid again. There's something very enjoyable about this whole thing. And it'll unlock a part of you, is what I'm saying. On top of that, it'll be a Ronin Summit. So we'll get a lot of other things going on. And there might be girls like the one on the left. So, you know, that's never a bad thing. Or, you know, even if you're just looking at them, it's all good. It's all good. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good day. And I'm going to go. It's a perfect day here in Santa Cruz. I'm looking for tickets back to Thailand. Fox found one for $435, which is super cheap. So anyway, guys, hope you guys have a good day.